In this video, I will show you the easiest way to troubleshoot a vehicle that has a battery which drains down overnight or over a few days of not using the vehicle. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is rule out the battery as being the cause of your problem. As batteries get older, the plates could start to short out, causing the battery to drain down when it sits for hours at a time. So the thing to do is when you're done driving the vehicle for the day, the alternator was running, charging up the battery, you're going to disconnect the negative from the battery, and you're going to leave it disconnected overnight. In the morning, when you go to connect this back onto the battery, if the vehicle starts right up and you don't have the problem with the battery being drained down anymore, then clearly there is something in the vehicle that is draining the battery down. If you still have the same problem, where the battery is not strong enough to turn the engine over, then definitely replace your battery. When the wires initially connected to the battery, you're going to notice a spark, and the reason for that, there's a surge of current going into the vehicle, charging up capacitors, powering circuit boards, and usually that current is under 1 amp, usually 300 to 750 milliamps, and then after a set duration, maybe around 15 seconds, 20 seconds, that current should drop to a level between 25 and 50 milliamps. If the current being drained from the battery is well above 50 milliamps, then the battery can drain down over time from sitting. When you do this test that I'm about to show you, make sure that there's no light on your hood. If there is a light on your hood, remove the bulb because that's going to interfere with this test. Using an inexpensive digital meter, you could pick these up at Harbor Freight. They're very cheap, they're around $5. You're going to set the meter to DC current. I have it on 10 amps, and the 10 amp setting, let's put this on. Put that right there so you can see it. I'm going to disconnect this clamp again. I'm just going to show you how the current flows in. I'm going to take the positive, put it on the clamp, and I'm going to touch this, and you're going to look here. 0.5 would be a half of an amp, 0.01 would be 10 milliamps, and you can tell right here. That's 720 you saw, that's 530, 160, and you can see it dropping all the way back. And we're at 25 to 30 milliamps. That's what you should see when you check your battery if you have a digital multimeter. Before I connect the digital meter back up again to perform the test, what you're going to do is expose all your fuses. You have a fuse compartment under your hood as well as under the dash. Place this here. Always start on the 10 amp setting. If you start on the 200 milliamp setting, you're going to blow the fuse. So leave it on the 10 amp. To make life easy, you're going to take a jumper wire. You can connect that over there. And the other one, you can take another jumper wire that has a wide enough jaw to clamp onto the post. And we're going to touch it again. We're going to let it settle down. Right now it's at 160 milliamps. And we're down probably around 25, not even 20 milliamps. What you would do is while this is connected, and you can have an assistant watch the meter, and you see a reading of 100 milliamps or 200 milliamps, you're going to go to each one of the fuses and pull them one at a time and watch the meter. If the meter drops way down to where it should be, between 25 and 50 milliamps, you then found the right circuit, and then you can inspect just that circuit to find out where the problem is. Go to every single one, as well as under the dash, and you will find the problem. If the reading on the meter does not drop from that higher than normal current reading, many times in the past I've seen a faulty regulator in the alternator cause the problem of draining down the battery. You can go over to the alternator, pull the wiring harness off the alternator, as well as any other wires attached, and take a look at the reading. If you see the reading go back down to where it should be, between 25 and 50 milliamps, then you're going to know your alternator is the problem. It does not get easier than I showed you. Just have an assistant watching the meter while you're pulling fuses, and if none of the fuses work, check the alternator. There is one more thing I would like to show you. When removing fuses from the inside of the vehicle, the door will most likely be open. Make sure you push in the button on the door jamb or have an assistant do so while you're removing the fuses. If you do not push this button, the interior light will be on and you will not know when you found the correct circuit when you pull out the fuse, because the light will be on inside the vehicle, drawing current from the battery. If you enjoyed this video, please rate it a thumbs up, subscribe, and post links to this video on other websites and blogs. Also be sure to check out my video playlist as well. Thank you very much for watching.